Yeah, so when you're not, I'll have it in speaker view for me. So when you're not speaking, if you'll mute, that'll keep it from popping over to you when we're recording. Carlos, love the shofar. It got a lot of comments last time.
Yeah, that's it was purposefully designed that way. Ever since we went virtual, I decided that that's where it would be.
Very nice.
It was in my room, but I
Uh-huh.
decided to bring it. So,
Well, for those who popped in a few minutes early, this is the last. We'll be back in the chapel next week. We all miss it, but I'm here in Phoenix for a couple of few days. So well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome. We're grateful to have this opportunity to celebrate Shabbat with you and to welcome the day of rest and the day of peace. I'm joined this evening by our music director, Carlos Gomez, and by our Misty co-president, regional board member, and bingo caller, professional bingo caller, Riley Miner. Grateful to have you here with us participating in the service as well. If you'd like to follow along in the prayer book, I'll be announcing page numbers for both the Shabbat edition as well as the complete edition of the prayer book. There's also a way to follow along online with an online version of the Shabbat prayer book. You can find a link to that on our Facebook page, along with a link to our service document, our service handout, which includes many of the page numbers for this evening's prayer service, along with some of the words for some of the prayers. So take a look at our Facebook page for access to our service handout and the prayer book so that you can follow along if you would like to. But before we turn to our prayer book, we begin with a nigun, a wordless song.
Yarai da 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 da, yarai da 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 da, yarai da 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 da, yarai da yarai da da, yarai da 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 da, yarai da 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 da. Ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da.
We turn in our prayer book to page 3. On page 3 is we light the candles, and the candle blessing can be found on the previous page, page 2. So pages 2 and 3 in the prayer book.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehalik ner, shel Shabbat.
We turn forward in our prayer book to page 28 in the Shabbat and online editions, page 146 in the complete edition for the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer.
Ya lai lai, ya lai lai lai, ya lai 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 lai. Ya lai lai, ya lai lai lai, ya lai 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 lai. Ya lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai. Ya lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Ya lai lai, ya lai lai lai, ya lai 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 lai. Ya lai lai, ya lai lai lai, ya lai 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 lai.
We welcome Riley to offer the reading on page 30.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name. Ever-living God, you may reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hamariv arabim.
Shema Yisrael, page 34 in the Shabbat edition, page 152 in the online edition, in the complete edition of the prayer book.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam vaed.
If you are standing, you may be seated as we continue with the Ve'ahavta, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטפחות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים אל אלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
We turn forward to page 41 in the Shabbat and online editions of the prayer book, page 159 in the complete edition of the prayer book. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, a song of peace, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, as we declare who is like you, O God, on the previous page.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tekilot osef ele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tekilot osef ele. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, God Yisrael.
Page 42 in the Shabbat and online editions of the prayer book, page 160 in the complete edition. We welcome Riley to offer words of prayer.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haporesh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
We turn forward to page 46 in the Shabbat and online editions of the prayer book, page 164 in the complete edition. We began our Amidah together by acknowledging the presence of holiness in the world and by rising to sanctify the name of God with a collection of prayers called the Amidah, a main offering of our liturgical offerings this evening. Adonai sevatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Dear God, open up our lips that our mouths may declare your praise. We begin with those words in song and then continue in silent prayer and reflection. If you're able to rise, I invite you to do so.
Adonai sevatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalalai, lai, lai, 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 ya la 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 la.
As we offer our own personal prayers for the things going on in our own lives, we also take a moment to think about those of our loved ones, our friends, our neighbors in our community who are in need of healing of mind, body, or spirit. If you're watching this on Facebook Live and would like to add the names of the people you're praying for healing, please include their names in the chat as we offer the names known to us as a community, those in need of healing. They include Donald Weinberg, Ross Fruithandler, Dolly Arond, Jim DeRoss, Les Lieberman, and Lily Vargas, Lyndon Mansfield. If you'd like to join us in singing a prayer for healing, this evening's prayer can be found on the service handout, which is linked on our Facebook page. As we join together, we pray for healing for all who are ill.
מי שברך אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב. מי שברך אמותינו, שרה רבקה לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi sheberach avotenu, mi sheberach imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
So I think the real question we all are asking ourselves this week is, what on earth happened to On, son of Peleth? When Korach, the Levite, rebels against Moses and Aaron with his compatriots from the tribe of Reuben, Dathan and Abiram, they are joined by On, son of Peleth. But as the rebellion progresses, On disappears. He's never mentioned again. He does not appear before Moses and God to sue for power, nor does he join with Korach, Dathan, and Abiram when they are swallowed up by the earth. The Talmud suggests that On, son of Peleth, is missing from the group after the initial rebellion because he does what is seemingly in modern times unthinkable. He stops and considers whether what he is doing is right. He pauses to reflect, to wonder at the wisdom of the effort he finds himself engaged with. He considers the information available to him and realizes his thinking requires correction. On, son of Peleth, learns and grows with the help of his wife and with the wisdom of Jewish tradition, which reminds him that it is never too late to admit when we are wrong and to do teshuvah, repentance. In the section of the Talmud that deals with On, son of Peleth, we learn that this is indicated by his very name, that On comes from the word aninut, or mourning, because he sat in mourning over the sin he had committed, and so he was spared punishment because of his repentance. And as a descendant of Reuven in Hebrew, the Talmud also suggests that he saw and understood. As a ben Reuven, he ra'ah vehevin, saw and understood that what he was doing and the rebellion of Korach was improper. Seeing that Korach, Dathan, and Abiram were going to rebel in the way that they were rebelling, On, son of Peleth, stepped away so as not to be included in their terribly offensive, faithless, and destructive behavior. But it wasn't only On's ability to reevaluate his opinions based on new information, his ability to retreat from following a leader who was leading him down a path to destruction. He was also lucky to have with him a caring spouse who supported him, not by agreeing with him in everything, but in looking out for his well-being, his reputation, and his relationship with God, even when she had to disagree with him. She helps On think through and puzzle out his place in Israelite society. The Talmud tells us that On's wife points out that whether he is a student of Korach or a student of Moses, he has no place in the argument because he is just a student. So she gives him an excuse to literally miss the rebellion. She provides him with wine to drink and lays him on a bed inside their tent. Then she sits in the entrance of the tent and made as if to bathe. Sitting in the entrance of the tent, bathing, whenever someone from Korach's camp came to call on On to tell him it was time to go join the rebellion, they would see On's wife and back away for the sake of modesty, so as not to disturb her while she was bathing. In the meantime, the assembly of Korach that came to rebel against Moses was swallowed into the ground, while On, son of Peleth, was spared. On reminds us how important it is to think for ourselves, to be self-aware and self-reflective, but also to surround ourselves with people who care enough about us to help us do what is right, even when that means disagreeing with us. With On, we learn the value of wisdom, of acknowledging when we might have gone astray, swept up in a moment of excitement, On reminds us that we are quite often wrong and that we never have all the information we need. By the way, Moses models this in our Parsha this week too. When Korach comes to Moses to declare that what he is doing is not right, the first thing that Moses might have done, if he were not Moses, would be to argue with Korach, or perhaps to just punch him in the nose, to call Korach names, belittle Korach, and cling to power for dear life. But Moses resists that temptation. Instead, Moses reflects, asking himself, what have I done to potentially merit their distrust? Have I stolen from them? No. Have I mistreated them? No. Do they have any legitimate grievances against me? No. And so only after coming up empty, Moses turns to God. It says in our text, Moses was much aggrieved, and he said to the Eternal, pay no regard to their oblation. I have not taken the donkey of any one of them, nor have I wronged any one of them. How many leaders would encounter a challenge to power in the way that Moses does? Korach is not wrong to raise questions and concerns about Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. He was wrong in the way he raised concerns. Korach was hot-headed, angry, and accusatory. Korach pulls together a group to challenge Moses and to rebel. He is the total opposite of another challenge to Moses' decision-making authority, Zelophehad's daughters, who approach Moses calmly to explain their concern. Korach proves himself to not simply be some honest protester who raises reasonable questions about the policies of their Israelite society, but is instead a hate-filled man of harsh passion for personal power at all costs. Our mission in this world is not to gain personal power or glory, but to give glory and beauty back into the world, to celebrate the beauty of community and to strengthen the ability of the community to do good in the lives of others, to give back and to pay it forward. A leader is one who stands in between, helping to manage the giving and receiving. A leader is someone who respects wisdom as it is offered and accepts knowledge wherever it may be found. A leader is one who looks to create a society which allows people to find meaning, to celebrate holiness, and to unite with one another to construct a world of peace. In that way, we are all leaders of some and followers of others. We might learn from Moses what it means to navigate the waters of leadership, but we learn from On, son of Peleth, that following others requires a different sort of leadership all in its own, self-reflection and wisdom in itself. In a mad world, a chaotic world, a quite literally sick world, this Shabbos we are reminded of the lessons that On, son of Peleth, has to teach. Shabbat Shalom. We continue in our prayer book, page 282 in the Shabbat and online editions, page 586 in the complete edition of the prayer book for Aleinu L'Shabeach. If you're able to rise, I invite you to do so.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גאולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ Bayom ha'od yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo
Forward in our prayer book to page 291 in the Shabbat edition, page 595 in the complete edition of the prayer book, as we reflect on the memory of loved ones gone. Yesh kochavim sha'oram magia artsa rak ka'asher hem atzmam avdu ve'enam. There are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. The stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 294 in the Shabbat and online edition, page 598 in the complete edition of the prayer book. If you are remembering somebody at this time, I invite you to share their name in the chat if you're watching us on Facebook. And on behalf of the community, I would offer the following names in memorial. We mourn the recent death of Alan Pittle, Arnold Hoffman, Mark Blaugrund, and Bernice Isaacs. On this anniversary week of their passing, we observe yahrzeit for Rose Alfman, Harry Barnett, Herman Beck, Ida Levy Bendelin, Max Blecker, Pauline Ullman Blumenthal, Miriam A. Borshaw, David Cohen, Raymond Cohen, Vivian Korn, Norman Feldman, Donald B. Fertel, Edmund Given, Frank Gladman, Jerome Glass, Sarah B. Goodman, Martha Goodman Katz, Bernard Kaufman, Erna W. Klein, Florine Klein, Simon Leventhal, Irma Ullman Levy, Wolf Levkovitz, Ronald Marks, Max Meyer, Mildred F. Mirup, Barbara Jean Myers, Clarence J. Oppenheim, Ida A. Oppenheim, Sarah S. Pearl, Bertha Polstein, Sarah D. Riedman, Rosalie Riven, Manuel Rodriguez, Emmanuel Rosen, Gladys Rosenfeld, Alexander Schachner, Marcella A. Shapiro, Gertrude Berger Schweitzer, Bill Shields, Gerald Seth Tate, Pauline G. Turk, Johanna Alfman Tusch, Sarah Waxman, Henrietta Weiss, Sam Weiss, Paul Wolf, Fernando Aristoteles Yates, Joseph Sidney Yannick. We mourn for them, and we mourn for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, as we rise together as one congregational family for Mourners Kaddish. Yit Gadal Vid Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayachon of Yomechon of Chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agalau v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam l'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei d'kudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be and forever remain a blessing and an inspiration to life. As together we say, Amen. You may be seated.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen.
We will conclude our service on page 5 in the Shabbat and online edition of the prayer book. That's page 123 in the complete edition of the prayer book with Kiddush. But before we do so, just a few announcements. We want to thank our streaming sponsors for this evening. Sam and Susan Simon, Marion Simon Garmel, Sue Simon Pickens Owen, and Evelyn Simon Fox in memory of Rose Alfman and in memory of Johanna Alfman Tusch. Our Saturday morning Torah study will take place on Zoom at 9:30 tomorrow morning, and then services will take place at 10:30. However you're watching this, you should be able to access that. We really hope you'll join us for a very interesting conversation tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Along with Havdalah, we'll be joined by a speaker from the Texas Jewish Historical Society, Vicki Vogel, who will talk to us about little-known Texas Jews. And it's sure to be a very interesting and engaging talk about the history of Jews in Texas, not just the ones that we are more aware of, but some of the work of those lesser known. Adult education is getting a little bit more interesting. Thursday evenings for the next 4 weeks at 6:30, we hope you'll join us in Temple's Zoom room as we're joined by Cantor Rosalie Will, who will teach us about music and Judaism, music in Jewish history, music as it is utilized to make meaning in Jewish prayer today. For the next 4 weeks, starting this Thursday, she'll be joining with us to teach us a little bit more. And it's one of those blessings of technology that we can be together with somebody teaching us from New York and get access to something like that over the course of a longer period of time than just the last time we saw Cantor Will when she came in for just a brief weekend. So we hope you'll join us for that too. That means that our 10:30 sessions are on hiatus for the next 4 weeks while we all join together at 6:30 p.m. To learn with Cantor Will. Also, next Sunday, June 28th, at 7 p.m., we'll join together with B'nai Zion for a presentation with cartoonist Bob Mankoff. That and all of the other things happening at Temple are available. If you take a look at our website or our email from yesterday evening, you'll see there's quite a lot going on, and we hope that you'll find something meaningful to jump in and take part in. I'd like to thank those who joined me in services today. We have music director Carlos Gomez, thank you, and Riley Miner, Misty co-president, regional board member. Thank you so much for helping to lead us in prayer as well. We'll join together now in Kiddush and then Motzi as we conclude our service.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהב וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen.
May this Shabbat and may the week to come be for you and those that you love a Shabbat of holiness, a week of holiness, a Shabbat of peace, a week of peace, a Shabbat of love, and a week of love. Shabbat Shalom.